Hey, a very good evening, good afternoon, good morning to you. And I want to say a happy new year to you. Welcome to 2023. And this year, I promise you, is going to be a wonderful time on the Power Impact series. I am so glad to see you once again in the new year. My name is Ambassador Benjamin Oswansa, and it's always a pleasure to have you here on the Power Impact series, proudly brought to you by the African Season Speakers Network. And this year, we are kickstarting with a wonderful person you love to hear over and over again. Last year was a wonderful time with all our speakers that came to the Power Impact series. This year, we're taking it to a different level. We're taking it to a different height. And I'm sure you're going to stick around for all the episodes for the year 2023. Today, I'm sure you're ready for our guest. It's going to blow you away. Kickstarting the new year with this guest. But before I do that, I'll take my first commercial break. Right after, I'm going to introduce to you our guest for today on the Power Impact series. Share the page, don't go anywhere. Get into the chat area. Let me know who is online with me. Let me know where you're joining me from. And let the vibe keep rolling. Stick around, don't go anywhere. I'll be back shortly.
Need a spark to kickstart your innovation? Looking for thought and talks to get things moving? Wondering how to navigate a future full of change and uncertainty? With the eye-opening stories of digital disruption, extreme customer centricity, organizational innovation, and global shift, our collective of speakers, MCs, and moderators will shift your perspective. Meet our speakers. For booking and interviews, contact us on 0246 054092 or send us a mail info.accessnet@gmail.com. You can also follow us on all social media channels at AccessNet Global, African Seasoned Speakers Network, influencing the next generation of Africans.
Influencing the next generation of Africans, and that's what we do here at the Power Impact series show. So I'll go straight away and then let you know who our guest is for today. But as I said earlier on, share the link, let others also join for our first episode in 2023. And as I said, get into the chat area. Let me know who is joining me, who is online with me. Let's get the vibe rolling for our first episode of 2023. Our guest for today happens to be someone who helps personal brands expand and monetize on LinkedIn. Our guest is a marketing and a management consultant. Our guest is a keynote speaker. Our guest does a lot of public speaking training for people. Our guest is a LinkedIn coach. And also, our guest is a digital entrepreneur. Ladies and gentlemen, for the very first time on the Power Impact series, and for the very first time in 2023, January, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome for the very first time, Mr. Kwesi for say. Kwesi, how are you doing? Can you hear me, Kwesi? Your first time on the Power Impact series, and how do you feel being on the Power Impact series? Yes, Kwesi will just get back to us shortly. And as I said, he's a personal brand, expands, and then monetize on LinkedIn. So today, this conversation is going to be basically on all that he does, and then the kind of tips he can share with us on the Power Impact series. Get into the chat area. Let me know who's joining me. Let me know where you're joining me from. Let's share the link, and then so then we're going to take it on a slow roll. We're not really going to rush things out. It will take a lot of time, but it's going to be worthwhile being with us here on the Power Impact series. Last year we had wonderful people, wonderful guests coming through, and we love the feedbacks we're getting from you because we are here because of you, and we are here sharing all this that we're doing because of you. So we have him here now. Kwesi is here with us. Kwesi, how are you doing? Can you hear me?
I'm doing great. I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Wow. I can hear you loud and clear as well. How have you been? I mean, it's the first day of the year 2023.
Yes, yes,
How's the
yes.
year looking like?
So far,
It's
so
looking
far,
good.
so good. I planned for my year somewhere last week, looking at certain things that I would
Okay.
love to do and love to accomplish in the year with an actionable plan.
Right.
So far, let's just hope and see
Right.
what God does. How's the year looking for you too as well?
Well, I'm smelling goodness. I
Great.
smell a lot of goodness in the atmosphere,
That's
and I know it's going to be better. It's going to be great. We're going to
yeah,
move from,
yeah.
one level to another, and then as you're going to do for us today, you're going to take us through some of the key things that we need to do on our LinkedIn pages, and then we harness the
Yeah.
business part of it, and we're going to grow because we might be doing stuff, but hey. Let's hear from you. So, in a nutshell, I give a little bit about you, but I want to know who is Kwesi Falls and
Okay, so that's a very that's a very great question. Okay, so Kwesi Folsom. So Kwesi Folsom is a continental keynote speaker. He's somebody
right.
who loves to impact people. He's okay. Can I be heard?
Yeah, I
All
can hear
right.
you. I can.
So okay, fantastic. So Kwesi Folsom is a continental keynote speaker, somebody who has a passion for public speaking, somebody who wants to be able to impact people through his words, through his understanding, through his knowledge, and he did that all through building of capacity. So he wants to help others build capacity because he believes that I believe that you cannot achieve anything without building the capacity for it. For example, if you want to be able to Okay, so for example, if you want to be able to do anything at all in this world, you need capacity for it. If you want to be able to lift, can you hear me? Sorry, I
I can
can
hear
hear me.
you. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah. All right. So if you want to be able to start running long miles, or you want to be able to do anything at all, you want to start running marathons, you need the capacity. You need to start exercising. You need to start moving your body. So if you want to be able to do anything at all, you need capacity.
Right. Hello, Pagosi. Can you hear me? Well, we can loosen you a little bit. Yes, we can hear you. Right. So Pagosi is on the floor and he's telling us about what he's been doing and what he has been doing over the years, building capacity. And we are ready to listen to how he does it or how he's doing that, building capacities. Yeah. So for those of you joining us on, I want to say Happy New Year to you all. And thank you for joining us this time around. It's 2023 and the first episode on the Power Impact series. And we have in here with us Kwesi Fosun, and he was on the floor. So he's back all live. How was he? Yeah. You back here. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Kwesi.
Yeah, I can. I don't know what exactly is going. Yes, I can hear you. I don't know what exactly is
Right,
going on
okay.
with
That's
my network today. It's weird.
all right. The network wants to tell
Okay.
us that it's a new year and we are ready for him.
Yeah, it's a bit shaky today. It's a bit shaky today.
Right.
Okay.
That's okay.
All right. So you can hear me loud and clear, right?
I hear you perfectly loud and clear. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so you asked about Parkwisi Folsom. So I was basically saying that Parkwisi Folsom is somebody who loves to impact people, who loves to be able to use his gift of speaking. I believe that your voice holds a lot of power. So if you can use your voice as a medium or as an instrument to be able to transfer knowledge or transfer anything that could be of relevance to another person, then you are good to go. So that's what I believe in, and that's what Parkwisi Force is all about. It's mainly about three things. When I speak for three main reasons. I speak to shape thoughts, to mold characters, and to propel destinies. So that's what basically I'm about. I'm about impact. And in a nutshell, I'm just a very cool, calm person. And that's about me, just in a nutshell.
Right, in a nutshell, he's just a cool, calm person. Yes, but he's got a lot of stuff inside. So the coolness, I want to find out where the coolness is or where the coolness falls. But rather, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. So we're looking forward to a good year,
Yeah,
2023. Right. So we want to zoom in straight
yeah.
to our topic for today: harnessing the power of LinkedIn for personal and business growth. So, what is LinkedIn all about? I mean, if for the first time people might have not heard of LinkedIn, someone who don't know LinkedIn, what is all about? What is it all about, LinkedIn?
Okay, so
Okay.
that's a great question because not everybody that's on LinkedIn. Actually, LinkedIn only has 850 million members. So, what LinkedIn is, if you do not know, for anybody watching, LinkedIn is simply a social media app just like Instagram, Facebook, what have you, Twitter, what have you. But then the thing is that with LinkedIn, LinkedIn is the world's largest professional networking app. So this is an app for business people or people who seek to be able to develop their professional lives or their career lives. So if you want to be able to be somebody who has access to different people in different networks in different industries, then LinkedIn should be a place for you. It's a more formal social media app rather than the casual apps that we have with Instagram and TikTok with people dancing and all of that. So LinkedIn is a more formal
Okay. 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 All right. So that's a little bit about LinkedIn, and then what one stands to gain for being on LinkedIn. So um, we're waiting for Parkwesi to get back online, and then I will pick it from where he ended from. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're joining us for the very first time in 2023, we want to say Happy New Year to you, and you are warmly welcome to the first episode of the Power Impact Series show, where today we have our guest to be Kwesi Folsom, who's going to give us a lot of talks and tips about harnessing the power of LinkedIn for personal and business growth. So I posed the first question to him to find out what LinkedIn is all about and what is LinkedIn. I mean, most people might not be on LinkedIn, but might be on other medias. So we're asking him what LinkedIn is, and then he has explained a little bit about LinkedIn. And now we're going to go into what it does, what are the advantages, what one needs to know about LinkedIn, and all that for the personal and the business growth. So he's back in here with us. Marcus, yeah, yes,
Okay.
right. Okay, I can hardly hear you. I can
All
hear you,
right.
Marcus. Yeah, right.
Okay. So So I was saying that LinkedIn is a social media app just like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, what have you. But the only difference is that LinkedIn is a more formal app. So if you want to be able to be somebody who wants to grow in terms of professional networks or in terms of getting business links or any of that, LinkedIn is the right place for you. So it's a fully fledged social media app. You can text people, you can feel free post and all of that. Just that it has a more formal setting. The atmosphere there is more formal and more conducive for business um, and non-casual talks and more focused topics. So that's what I can say LinkedIn is about. So it's just a social media app. You can join it and feel free and come and fraternize and build a network on LinkedIn. And that's basically what LinkedIn is about. Yeah.
Right. So basically, that's what LinkedIn is all about. So it kind of puts your stuff in there, you build your profile in there, and then you kind of link. I mean, linked up with
Exactly.
people through your networks and stuff. Okay. So,
Yeah.
what are the advantages that one stands to gain for being on LinkedIn or any other
Okay.
social media platform?
All right. So now, I mean, when you look at other social media platforms like Instagram or you have Twitter, the thing is that because it's not very professional centered, it has a very casual approach. So there are so many people who come on the app for different reasons. But on LinkedIn, you can see that when people join LinkedIn, they are coming for a very focused reason. One of the
Okay.
reasons people join LinkedIn is to be able to get jobs. That's not the main reason, but then it's an advantage. When you are on LinkedIn, there are jobs popping up every time. In fact, according
Okay.
to research, about 77 applications are sent each second on LinkedIn.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's huge.
77 each second. I mean, that takes us up to about 4,620 applications per minute. So that should help people
Wow.
understand that the jobs are really abundant on LinkedIn. Almost every time you see a job, you look left, you look right, you see a job. So the thing is that it's one of the places for people to be able to get jobs or see job opportunities. So that's
Right.
what LinkedIn is about, and that's one way you can be able to. That's one advantage of LinkedIn. You can be closer to jobs. Number two, another advantage of LinkedIn is that it's a very great place for you to be able to build your personal brand.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So So I was saying that it's a great place for people to be able to build their personal brand, especially when you want to build a personal brand that is not casual, that is professional centered. So that is one advantage of LinkedIn. You can easily, by just being present on LinkedIn, you can.
Okay. We will wait for Forsen to come in and continue his tips for us. But hey, welcome everyone joining us. Can you share the link and let others also come in? Let's start the year right on the professional level of building a profile that can link you to. There's thousands of jobs that Forsen was talking about that you can have access to when you have a professional profile on LinkedIn, and the kind of networks that one can make or that one can link up to on LinkedIn. So he was giving us some of the figures and some of the things that one stands to gain by having his or her profile on LinkedIn. So there are numerous job opportunities there. When you look left, when you look right, you're going to have a lot of job opportunities on LinkedIn. But we're going to ask him some questions. I mean, it's more professional compared to the other social media pages, which you might have an account there, which is more casual. But this is really brand positioning kind of platform that you there and you position your brand in a way that you attract others who are like-minded in your work or in your line of profession that you build it. So we're still waiting for Progress to join us, and then what we're doing it, we're going to have more info from you. But we're going to take a short commercial break again whilst we wait for Progress to join us. Don't go anywhere. Stick around.
Need a spark to kickstart your innovation? Looking for thought and talks to get things moving? Wondering how to navigate a future full of change and uncertainty? With the eye-opening stories of digital disruption, extreme customer centricity, organizational innovation, and global shift, our collective of speakers, MCs, and moderators will shift your perspective. Meet our speakers. For booking and interviews, contact us on 0246 054092 or send us a mail info.abscessnet@gmail.com. You can also follow us on all social media channels at AbscessNet Global, African Seasoned Speakers Network, influencing the next generation of Africans.
Influencing the next generation of Africans, and that's all we'll seek to do, and that's all we are doing. And on the studio with me in the studio today is Kwesi who is it's a personality that helps personal brands and expands and monetize on LinkedIn. He's a marketing and management consultant. He's a keynote speaker. He is a public speaking trainer. And then he is also a LinkedIn coach. And at last but not the least, the digital entrepreneur. He's telling us about the things and the good things that one stands to gain for being on LinkedIn. What are some of the things that you have to gain for being there? How you position yourself, the number of job opportunities that are on the app on a daily basis, and how you position yourself to get all these ones and the kind of links you need to link up whilst you are LinkedIn. But we have a little bit of a challenge with him getting onto the platform. But hey, he's still going to be with us. Don't go anywhere. Stick around, and we are talking about harnessing the power of LinkedIn for personal and business growth. And Pakwesi is the guy who is doing that for us today. And so we will just wait for him a little bit, and then we're going to. But get into the chat area. Let me know who is online with me, who is joining me today, who is joining me for the first episode of the Power Impact Series 2023. Who is online with me? Kindly get to the chat area. Let me know your name. Let me know who is here. Let the vibe keep flowing. Let me feel some energy in the chat area. And then please get your questions ready for Pakwesi Forwarding. Yes, so we're going to continue from here. Right, Pakwesi, welcome back. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yes, you are giving us some.
So sorry, I think. All right, so sorry, my apologies. I think my network has been really bad, so I've had to change positions, locations, so that it can be effective. Okay.
Right, that's okay. That's okay. We're here for you. So you were giving us some of the advantages of being on the LinkedIn app, and you're giving us one already, and you're going to give us second one or third one. We're waiting for that one.
Yes, so I was outlining the advantages. So I first started by saying that LinkedIn is great for career opportunities. So I first started by saying that LinkedIn is great for career opportunities or for job opportunities. So if you are somebody who is looking forward to move your career forward, then I encourage you to join LinkedIn, because LinkedIn creates that atmosphere for you. For example, as I mentioned earlier,
All right, let me just read some comments from the chats area, those that are joining me. So I have in Mackenzie Morris says, Happy New Year to you all. Same for Jose Garcia. He says, Happy New Year to you. Hey, Jose, how are you doing? Happy New Year to you too. I have in here Shalitha Sandra saying, Happy New Year to you all. I also have in here with me Leslie Amwa. He says, sending you greetings from Kumasi. More grace, Kwesi Folsen. And then I have in here again, Joseph says, professionally speaking, you can live without Facebook, Instagram, etc. However, LinkedIn has a real added value. Okay, thank you. So we want to learn more about that. Just can you tell us a little bit more about LinkedIn? What makes it so professional? What makes it professional? And then how does it add real value to you? If Josie's around, you can still get into the chat area and let me know whilst we wait for sin. Wow, but because I'm going to do the conversation with you as well. So you can hop into the chat area. Let us know what you think about LinkedIn and what has it been beneficial to you. Have you been using LinkedIn? Just tell me some of the advantages of LinkedIn whilst we wait for Forcing to get back online. So today is a chit chat kind of thing. It's a new year. We're going in a relaxed way. We're going in a relaxed manner. So let us chit chat. So in the chat area, let me know what you think about LinkedIn. How's the app? Are you on LinkedIn? Do you have anything doing on LinkedIn? Or what are the perceptions you have about LinkedIn? Let's talk about LinkedIn today. We are harnessing the power of LinkedIn for personal and business growth. Oh yeah, Jones is back again. He says, yeah, LinkedIn allows you to have a real professional network. Okay, okay, real professional network. So that means, what does it do? What does it do? It kind of guides you on what you post, or guides you on what you're doing. Oh, is it a marketing place? You market yourself, or you bring your product out so people get to see those products or your services. Is that what it means to be on LinkedIn, or is that what LinkedIn is all about? We are sharing. We are sharing. So if you get online, share with us your experience in using LinkedIn. Or if you are not on LinkedIn, what are some of the things you've heard about LinkedIn? What are the good things, the bad things, anything you heard about LinkedIn that we can share? And then going forward for the year 2023, what we stand to gain from being on LinkedIn. We're still waiting for Kwesi Folsen, who is going to take us through. And he started already. He's giving us some figures about the number of people that are on LinkedIn and the kind of job opportunities that are available on LinkedIn, the kind of positioning one needs to position him or himself whilst on LinkedIn. So that is doing that, but we having a little bit of challenge with him. But hey, that is it. Once you hear, we can still keep the conversation flowing. We can keep the conversation moving on. So if you come online, don't feel bored. Just get in the chat area. Let me know who is online with me. Let me know where you're joining me from. And also share your experience and share your thoughts on LinkedIn. Are you on LinkedIn? Your account on LinkedIn? Is your account on LinkedIn active? Hey, what do you see on LinkedIn? What do you do with your account on LinkedIn? Okay, so I have in here, Joe says, LinkedIn, keep your network updated about your career movement, and at the same time, getting the right professionals when you need them. That's okay. That's okay. Thank you so much, host. We are doing the chat. Okay, Forcing. Can you hear me? Kwesi Forcing, can you hear me?
loud and clear, loud and clear.
All right, all right. Let's keep
Okay,
on going. Yeah.
All right, so I was outlining the advantages of LinkedIn. So number one, the major advantage of LinkedIn is that you are closer to job opportunities and career growth. So as I was saying that on LinkedIn, jobs are abundant on LinkedIn. In fact, according to research, about 77 applications are sent every second on LinkedIn. And I think that takes us up to about 4,620 applications per minute. So that should tell you that the jobs are abundant on LinkedIn. And if you are somebody who wants to be able to get a job or be closer to career opportunities, or even somebody who wants to even just move up in your career or wherever you are, I think LinkedIn is a better bet for you than you spending your time on Instagram or Twitter or any other app because of the setting of LinkedIn. Number two, if you want to be able to build a very professional, I repeat, if you want to be able to build a very professional personal brand, then I think LinkedIn is the place for you. There's no other place than building a brand on LinkedIn. When you build a brand on LinkedIn, you are different from every other person because you now have a more formal look, a more formal appeal, rather than something that is a bit casual by building somewhere else. LinkedIn gives you that look because if you are building on LinkedIn, you are building on a site where everybody else is more or less a professional, or more or less somebody who is much more enthused about focused topics. So that's the second advantage I can give of LinkedIn. Number Okay, so these are the two main things that I think for anybody who wants to join LinkedIn, these are the two main reasons why I think you should be on LinkedIn, and it's absolutely the best reasons.
Oh wow, wow, wow. I mean, whilst you we're doing a chit chat on here with our audience online, and Joe's has been giving us some feedback, and then you are just confirming most of them. He says, due to my job, I changed many times. Or I changed a lot of countries due to my job. Thanks to LinkedIn, my professional contact always know how to find me. So I think that's another advantage of being on LinkedIn as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Joe's travels a lot around the world. So yay, time's up to you, Joe's. You giving
Yeah.
us all the feedback that we need. And okay, so when you're talking about professional, how professional are you talking about? Does it mean that those on the other social media handles are not that professional, or how is this one so different from the other social media platforms?
Okay, so when I mean professional, in other words, I just mean formal.
Right.
Some not necessarily professional in the sense that everybody else on some other platform is not professional. No, not to say that, not to
Right.
say that at all. I just mean you have a more formal look rather than something that is casual. When you go to TikTok is a social media app. When you open TikTok, it's only dancing. You see people dancing to Shatawale and all of that. I mean, that's great, but then it doesn't have a formal approach. It's non-formal.
Okay.
So when I'm
Yeah.
talking about professional, just anything that is formalized.
Okay.
That's a
Okay.
formal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's formalized. So yeah, we just know who you are, what you do, what your experiences are. Yes, and it makes sense because I mean, some of these social media platforms don't gives you that opportunity to get to know some of this historical career path of someone there, but you might just see the current thing. But with LinkedIn, as you're saying, the means you are putting up your professional kind of stuff that people can join you and all that. All right. So how should one build their professional page or professional self on LinkedIn to
Okay.
attract, be able to access the opportunities that the application offers?
Okay. Okay. So just to also clarify, LinkedIn is more than just jobs. I mean, you can do
Right.
anything. You can build a brand for whatever. Me personally, I do not come to LinkedIn. I do not join LinkedIn for a job. I joined LinkedIn
Okay.
to mainly build my personal brand and allow me to be able to build a career, or no, let me not say career, but allow me to build myself as a public speaker and
Okay.
attracted opportunities for myself. Okay, so what I can say for anybody out there who wants to be able to experience or take part of any of the advantages on LinkedIn or attract jobs or whatever you want on LinkedIn, the thing is that most people who are on LinkedIn do not understand that you have to be able to brand yourself to
Okay.
be able to get opportunities. Once you do
Okay.
not brand yourself, then you cannot even position yourself to attract the opportunities. Now,
Okay.
branding, the word brand actually comes from a German word or a Proto-Germanic word known as brand, and that was in the part in the 1500s. So
Okay.
basically, that word brand, actually BRANDR, it meant
Mhm.
to mark permanently with iron. So in those times, before the word evolved to what we know is at, in those times, they were using the branding meant to be able to mark animals
Okay.
permanently with iron, so that people can be able to distinguish that this is Benjamin's goods and this is
Right.
Pakusi's goods.
Right.
So when you inscribe on the horns, then you've branded it. So, and that was literally the meaning at the time. Then it literally evolved to what we have now with personal brands and corporate brands and all of that. So basically, for anybody there, you have to be able to distinguish yourself. How are you going to distinguish yourself? Now, branding, I have been able to develop an acronym for brand, and that should help anybody build a personal brand. Now, the B in the brand is belief. First of all, you have to believe in yourself before you can build a personal brand. If you do not
Okay.
believe in yourself, when you're talking about personal brand, it's about you. Personal brand is about you. A lot of people think personal brand is about your external outlooks, your logo, all of that. No, please. It is about you. How can you believe in yourself? So the B in brand is for belief. In fact, the origin or the etymology for the word belief comes from a Proto-Germanic word known as galongen.
Okay.
And basically, that word comes from an Old English or an Old French word known as belefan.
Okay.
These are I study, so a lot of people know me for studying the root of words. I'm an etymology enthusiast, so I
Right.
understand the origin of words and all of that. So in my speaking engagement, you hear a lot of that. So I
Right.
just have to lay that down for anybody who is listening. Yeah. So belifan. So, and that word means to be able to have faith or put confidence in. So if you want to be able to believe yourself, you have to put confidence in yourself. You have to say, hey, I am Benjamin. I can do this. These are my strengths. These are my weaknesses. I have to believe myself. If you cannot believe yourself or believe your product or believe your service or believe whatever you're doing, you cannot brand yourself. Now,
That's right.
the R, now we move to that. That's the B. So we move to the R. The R
Okay.
in the brand is relevance. Now, what is relevance? Relevance is simply being useful to something or being helpful. That's what relevance is simply. Now, the concept of relevance is that relevance is subjective. Relevance in
Okay.
itself, the concept of relevance is subjective. What may be relevant to me may not necessarily be relevant to you, Benjamin. Do you agree?
Right. I agree with you. I agree
Yeah.
with you.
So yeah, so that's the thing about relevance. In fact, the etymology for the word relevance comes from a Latin word known as relevatum.
Okay.
Relevatum simply means helpful. So that's a Latin word, relevatum. Now,
Right.
I mean, so when we are looking at relevance, how can you be relevant? Whatever you are doing, whatever you are offering, you've believed in yourself, you've believed in your potentials, your abilities, your capabilities. Now, how can those things be relevant to the other people? I always tell people that branding is about two entities. It's about yourself and others. So now, how can I now take what is my capabilities? How can I take what I've believed in myself and then make it relevant to others? A lot of people do things without even considering whether it is relevant to the other party or not. Now, when we're talking about building a personal brand on LinkedIn, involves, let's say, your audience. Whatever you are doing, is it relevant to the audience? Is it relevant to anybody who wants you to join their company? Me, for example, I used to post certain things, relevant content on leadership to the extent where I got job offers. And I did not seek for any job offers. I just got job
Right.
offers straight out like that, just because I was providing relevant content to the people who felt that they needed it. And they said, oh, okay, I can see that this guy possesses some leadership qualities. I want him in my organization. So
Right.
it's as simple as that. You have to be able to embody some relevance. Whatever you do should have the relevance. So that's the R. Now the A is simply appeal. Appeal. Whatever now, I mean, you have everything. You've now, in fact, let me even touch on something about relevance before I continue. Now,
All
when
right.
it comes to relevance, there are certain things you're supposed to relevance will teach you. For example, relevance will help you to define your audience avatar. In other words, your target audience,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So maybe let me just quickly outline some points right now for anybody who wants to be able to learn how to find their target audience, because as I said, relevance, the concept of relevance is subjective. So
Right.
if you want, what is relevant to me may not be relevant to another person. So if
That's
you
right.
want your content or whatever you are posting or whatever you have, you want it to get to be relevant to a certain group of people, you have to define the group of people so that you can serve them with the relevant content.
Okay.
Okay, so number one, the first thing, if you want to be able to build your audience avatar, is to identify your own goals or your own objectives. How can
Right.
I, or what am I trying to do? What am I trying to achieve? What is it that I seek to achieve while projecting my capabilities or my strengths? So if you have that, you've identified your goals, then you can now, second of all, you can now define the demography of your
Okay.
audience avatar. So first of all, you find your goals, then you find the demography. Now the demography is simply, for example, when I started building online, I was appealing to my demography was, first of all, to student leaders, because I was a student at the time. Then second of all, to any corporate manager who is in a leadership position. I'm talking about possibly top management, right? So that was my demography. So you have to be
Right.
able to, first of all, identify your goals, then find a demographic. You have to find a demographic. You have to find a demography for yourself and for whatever you're doing. Okay, so that's the R. Now the A, you should be appealing. Your brand is going to tell a lot about you. Your brand should be appealing to other people. Once your brand is not appealing to other people, people are not going to love you, and you cannot attract opportunities to yourself. So how do you make it appealing? First of all, now that's when you can now start looking at the external things. But first of all, that's why we started from the B. You are supposed to look at the inward part. Then after that, you can move on to the appealing part. Now that has to do with your logo, the way you post content. You do everything in a very logical, chronological manner that at least has some sense inside, that really makes is relevant to the other people, right? So that's the thing about appealing. You should now try and get a nice logo, a nice whatever, a nice picture over there. Just make your brand appealing to people in whatever way you can. Okay, so that's the A. Now the N in brand, the N is for narrate. Narrate.
Okay.
Now what do I mean by narrate? People do understand that good brands are built on stories. Let me
Okay.
repeat that again. Good brands are built on stories. If you do not have a story to tell, the thing about storylines when it comes to branding is that when you have a brand story, you can build brand equity. Hmm.
Right.
Okay. When
Right.
when you have a brand story, you can build brand equity. Now, brand equity is simply the value of your brand in comparison to maybe generic equivalent or something like that. So when we're talking about brand equity, when you're able to now tell your story of your brand or for your personal brand, how did you get to what you are doing, or why are you doing what you are doing? Can you tell us the story about it? When you do that, what you do is that you create an authentic connection between you and the other party whom you seek to serve, or that is your audience actually. So anybody else who now sees your story or hears your story now gets attracted to you, the person, and that is what is going to allow them or allow you to be able to magnet or attract opportunities to yourself. Why? Because you decided to tell your story. Other people do not tell their stories. In fact, Jesus told stories every time. That's why he had a very good personal brand. I mean, we love people like Robert Kiyosaki. Why? Because he told you his story, rich dad, poor dad. It was his story, right? So that's the thing about building personal brands. When you can when you can narrate your storyline, then you can build brand equity. So that is the N. And then the D for the brand, the acronym brand, is D is differentiates. As simple as that, differentiate. Now find a way to have a USP, that is simply your unique selling position or proposition, as people call it, right? So what is your USP, or what makes you unique in itself? How can you differentiate you from other equivalents in the industry or other equivalents in a particular niche, right? So when it comes to brand, if you cannot differentiate yourself, if you cannot distinguish yourself, you do not have a brand. Try and find your authenticity, then you distinguish yourself. So with that, with these things, acronyms that I've given you, if you decide to just believe in yourself, then provide relevant content, or you make yourself relevant in on the LinkedIn space. Then you make yourself appealing on the LinkedIn space. Then you can narrate your story to create a deeper connection with your audience or with the other party, and you can differentiate yourself and distinguish yourself. Then you can attract opportunities to yourself, and you can do that with ease. As simple as that. Yeah.
You can do that with ease. I mean
Yeah.
that's enough nuggets you just shared there. But we'll
Yeah.
try and break it down.
Yeah.
Hey,
We'll
ladies
break
and
it
gentlemen,
down.
if you're just joining me, I'm here with Kwesi and we want to say a happy new year to you. And he's giving us some new year nuggets for positioning yourself on LinkedIn. We talking about harnessing the power of personal and business growth. And you can do that without having an authentic brand, without letting people identify with that kind of brand. That when we mention Kwesi we know that is Kwesi and this is his brand. So he's giving us the acronym for brand. If you're not
Yeah.
here, don't worry. Once the show is over, go start the whole show again, and you're going to get this for the year. Let me go to the chat area and see what people are saying. Let me hear what my audience are saying. Let me give all the shout out to Jones, and let's get to Macasia. Okay, Clark Clinton says noted Kwesi. They are taking their notes. So there's a question here, but I think yeah, you've tackled it, but I just want you to know that there's a question
All
for
right.
you here. How
Yeah.
do you brand yourself on LinkedIn? I think what you just said is enough for now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe you want to throw more lights onto it. That would be cool.
Okay.
Joseph
Okay.
says to have a story requires time, some bad and or good experience. Your brand cannot weak cannot wake up just one day and already have a story to tell others. On LinkedIn, you can start building your story. I mean, I think he's
Yeah.
just adding up to the
Yeah.
storytelling
Yeah.
part. Yeah. So okay. So let's say I'm new on LinkedIn. After listening
Okay.
to you today, I'm sure a lot of people are going to revive their accounts on LinkedIn. So let's say
Yeah.
let's take it from that point. So I had an account or I have an account on LinkedIn and it's not really functional. I'm not really operating it. But after hearing all this from you, I want to start my LinkedIn account. I want to revive it. What are some of the steps that I need to take, or what
Okay.
are things? Because okay, obviously, I would say I don't have a story. So, what story am I going to put there? How am I going to
Okay.
brand myself? What am I going to put?
Mm.
There are gurus up there. There are people already doing the good things. I want to
Right.
go and say, am I not going to talk to
Yeah.
the huge people, the managers, the gurus in the IT field? What am I going to do on LinkedIn? What advice do you have for somebody who is about to revive their account on LinkedIn?
Okay. So I mean, I would kind of relate to that, because when I started on LinkedIn, I did not have, I did not know what exactly, I did not know where exactly to start from. I was confused in my head. I did not know where to start from. Kind of, I was finding it difficult to point my finger or something that I could use to at least build a personal brand. So that's even one of the reasons why I even wrote my first ebooks that is
Okay,
currently live. Yeah,
right.
because I didn't want other people to struggle. So the very first thing that you need to do when you join LinkedIn, do not start thinking of building a personal brand just like that. No, 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 no. Start by optimizing your profile. When you create an account, start by optimizing it. Now, optimization is, I mean, when you say optimizing, a lot of people think is something extraordinary. No, it's just simply filling all the relevant sections on your profile. So, for example, getting a very great picture, a profile picture, just getting something nice, something decent, something that can show your face. When it comes to profile pictures, just get something from your chest up, and then that you're good to go. You can get a LinkedIn banner, write a little about section about who you are, then you fill in your experience section, fill in your education if you have any, and get your skills and all of that. And basically, once you can fill all of that, you are good to go. But the main thing a lot of people miss is that their headlines. Their headlines. Your headline is supposed to sell yourself. So what you can do is that with your headline, for what I've done, I've written, I help personal brands expand and monetize on LinkedIn, because I'm now telling you what I do. So your headline should reflect exactly how you can help people, what exactly, or who exactly you are, just in a nutshell, right? So if you can do that, then you are good to go. That's the first thing. The second thing, for anybody who wants to now start building on LinkedIn, still do not just start by building a personal brand. You can spend some time just trying to build an audience. So for me, when I joined LinkedIn, I did not start posting right off. And I know that sounds weird, but then what I did was that I was observing creators. I was observing every other person and looking for people who I thought that, okay, I can do what this person is doing. I love how this person is doing their thing. So in fact, before I even give that point as in my second point, I would love to use that as my second point. Please observe creators, observe other people in the same industry, or just look for people who are doing great things on LinkedIn, and just look for people who you can relate with. Then you can look at how they are doing their things, then you do your things or model it in the exact same way. But please remember to be authentic. Please be unique. Don't just copy blindly and copy and paste it. And sometimes when we used to be in JHS or something, sometimes you can copy somebody's work and then you copy the person's name and all of that. Right? So I think you should be unique. You should be unique. You should be unique. Then
So
after that,
just a quick one. So being unique
okay.
doesn't mean you need to pile up a long story that you end up chipping in some kind of formatted, or you just form your own kind of story in there, which is not really the true picture that you
Yours.
want to paint. And
Yeah.
so Jones is just saying that pay attention to your story, never lie, because it's professional, and other colleagues or suppliers can also know your story. So being authentic means even the 2-line story that you have to put that 2-line there, or you need to beef it up.
Well, I don't think you should lie. I just think that you should be able to be authentic and use whatever you have. Just find a way to harness. That's what we are talking about, harness. Just find a way to use whatever you have. When I joined LinkedIn at first, I used to see people. I saw a 70-year-old boy, and the boy was a millionaire. I was like, you're 70-year-old and you're a millionaire. He's a TEDx speaker. He's doing so many things. And I was just there. I came and I nothing. There was nothing for me. So what did I do? I just used what I had. I did not tell a lie. However, I started building. What is what I did? I did not start building exactly on my story. I started building and leveraging on my skills. That is one thing you can do. A lot of people try to start leveraging from their story right on set, and when they do that, they don't even necessarily have a track record. So you cannot do something authentic. You end up lying. So what you can do is you can start leveraging on your skill, on your knowledge. So I came and I said, okay, I have knowledge on leadership. Let me start telling you about leadership. And in fact, around that same time, just a few months before, I became the president of the largest private tertiary business school in Ghana, which is the Central University Business School, right? So I just used that as something and said, okay, so I have leadership in this. I'm a leader here. I can tell you all about leadership, and it's a credible story. And that was really the only thing I had at the time. So just find something, but leverage on your skills and your knowledge, and just relate it to a part or an aspect of you, and you'll be great.
And you'll be great. Everyone has a story, but
everyone has a story. Everyone has a story.
Exactly. So you use your story as being the leader of, your group in school, and then it was a story, and then students could easily relate to it, and even workers, professionals relate to it because they've also been leaders of students groups, so it's
Yeah.
easier for us to relate. So everyone has a story. You need to tell your story and then you build your content. That is lovely.
Yeah.
That is all right. Hey, thank you so much. I'm enjoying this whole chat, and then it is wonderful to open 2023 with this. You need to harness the
Yeah.
power of LinkedIn. You need to do that for personal growth and business. And I think Kwesi is doing justice to that. He's harnessing it for all of us. And then, so for those who are already there, they have a story. They've not yet told
Yeah.
their story, but they built content over the years. But
Yeah. Yeah.
you get to find them not having a huge following or huge commissions. Is it that they are doing something wrong or they are not really expanding their reach? Or what could that be? Even though they've been there for years. They have the content, but then you still have the same number of people following all the connections you have.
Mhm.
What can be done? What can be done to have an expanded kind of following or commissions coming to you?
Okay. Okay. I think that's a very great question. I think that's a great question when it comes to LinkedIn. A lot of people really suffer with getting a lot of connections because, first of all, when you want to build a brand, what people don't understand is that people start building their brands without getting eyeballs on their brands. You
Right.
need an audience to listen to whatever you have to say. One
Right.
of the people that I look up to said, if you're a genius and nobody knows who you are, nobody can really tell how smart you are. So the
Right.
thing is that when you want to build a brand, especially on social media, you need eyeballs on whatever you're doing. You need eyeballs on your content, on whatever you can do as a person to attract the opportunities for you. So when it comes to LinkedIn, the number one thing a lot of people have to do is to post content. The thing you have to continue is, but the thing is that do not just post any content. Post content that is something that I call FRVA. It should be focused, it should be relevant, it should be valuable, and it should be authentic.
Right.
These are the four things. People post content and it's not valuable at all. They just talk about their story just like that. You are supposed to
Mhm.
give your story, talk about your story, give some actionable points to it. So in fact, that's what I'll even add.
Mhm.
Actionable, actionable.
Actionable. All right.
People do not post actionable content. In fact, I want you to know, for everybody listening, that content is the engine of your brand.
Okay.
Content reveals your substance. When it comes to all of this on social media, the way to lead is by content. Once you do not have great content going on for you, you cannot even start going. Number two thing people have to start doing that's underrated is that you have to start limiting the number of hashtags. If you're already on LinkedIn, you've been on LinkedIn for some time, you have to start. And I see a lot of people who have been on LinkedIn for a long time. When they start posting content, they use more than 5 hashtags or 7 hashtags. The thing is that the LinkedIn algorithm keeps on changing. When you post one hashtag, it's like a hyperlink. So it takes you to another page and you can see everything around the hashtag and things. So when you have so many of them, you've inundated the post for the algorithm to even push it across its users on the app. So what you need to do is you need just a limited number of hashtags so that you can now propel your message. Try and get at least 3. People say get 5, but I think 3 is the best for people. Every time you post content, just use the 3 most relevant hashtags to the content and then share it. Then you see that the relevant people will start seeing it. LinkedIn can now promote your post and then you can do more and more and more. So that's one of the things I can say. The other thing that I can tell people is also connect with people yourself. Do not just expect people to just magically connect with you. No, connect to people. Pick and choose the people you want to connect with. Connect to people who you know are focused. But the thing is that there's a trick. Do not connect with do not connect. Find accounts that are active and connect with active accounts. A lot of people they're on LinkedIn and they don't connect to people who are active. They connect to somebody who has been on LinkedIn since 2013. No, you do not do that. Do not do that at all. I want you to start connecting with people who are active, because the active people are the people who are going to now in turn interact and engage with your content. So you need
Right.
people who are active on the app to start to you have to start connecting with people who are active on the app to be able to at least promote yourself. And once you do that, you start growing your base and you can be good to go. So start connecting people. So that's all I can say for anybody there. Okay.
Wow. Wow. That's all he can say for anybody out there. I love this. I love this topic and I love how it is turning out to be. I love it. He said FRVA and give us another one. He has also given us the acronym for brand. And hey, this is a whole section that we have for
Yeah.
ourselves. I,
Yeah.
I, I, we might do a part two of this.
Yeah, I think so because
We
more
might do
has
a
to be
part.
said.
A
More
lot,
has
a
to be
lot
said.
has been said, a lot has
Yeah.
been said because we start in the year and we need to optimize our things
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
year because yay, when you see you, we know that this is this person and that is your brand. Your
Yeah.
nature carries your brand and then what you do. But that was a classic
Exactly.
one, talking about optimizing your profile on LinkedIn because that is what people see and that what
Yeah.
brings them to your account or your profile to kind of
Exactly.
verify who is
Even
this
let me
and what.
chip in quickly. Let me chip in quickly.
Right,
Yesterday I had a client from Nigeria, and this is a
right,
man who is looking for jobs and all of that. So he wanted to learn about LinkedIn. So he opted for my private session. That's
right,
paid. That's a different thing.
right.
And I helped him optimize his profile. And within 2 hours, he got a job offer from a recruiting firm. Within 2 hours. So I want people out there to understand that optimization of your profile. This was yesterday. This is not anything. This was 31st yesterday, last year. Last year in terms of yesterday, right? And it happened
Yeah,
in 2 hours, right? So I
wow,
just want you to understand that when you can optimize your profile, you are doing yourself the best thing. So start
right.
optimizing your profile, find the best ways by which you can communicate your value through just your page. So when I open your page, when I open whoever is on the show, when I open Benjamin's page, I should be able to say that, oh wow, I love what is on his page. I've gotten opportunities just by simply optimizing my profile. People just read my about section and say, hey, I love what you do. I love what you stand for. I love your morals. I love how you put everything. I want to give you an opportunity on this and that. And that's how I got my opportunity. That's how I got the chance to be able to be on one of the biggest podcasts in Ghana. So just by that. So I think when you optimize, you are doing yourself so much good, and you should start doing that. Yeah.
You should start doing that in the year 2023, January. Optimize yourself for the months ahead and the days ahead and the weeks ahead. Because you know what? Optimizing yourself pushes you up there. It pushes you
Yeah.
up there for all crawlers, all web crawlers to easily
Yeah.
get you and find out who you are. Ah, my, oh my. Let me get into the chat area and see if there are any questions or any compliments here. You can pull in your questions now. We are running up shortly. If you have any questions for Kwesi, you can let us have it. If not, just get ready for the hashtag for today. Hey, this is a new year, and let's see what the hashtag for the new year is going to be. It's going to be for today. And as we do it, you know what? The hashtag has already been dropped. Yes, we've dropped the hashtag.
Yeah.
From my end, I will need to know if you have a hashtag yourself. But hey, I have my hashtag already. That is good. Amen. Okay, Stephen Amayal says he's having some challenges, but but you guys are doing well. Kudos. Knowledge is power. Shows coming again. He said LinkedIn is also a wonderful tool to select your prospects when your business requires to be very selective. LinkedIn helps you to do that. Yes, I think so. I think so. Per what Pagosi has said, I think so. I think that's what. Yes, 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 yes. If you're joining us, yes, we're about running up. All right, so Pagosi, we want to take
Yeah.
the final words before we go.
All
Oh,
right.
definitely we're going to have a part two of this, so just keep that.
Okay. All right.
Because
All right.
we just
Okay.
optimized our profile. We just optimized our profile.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So the only thing I want to say, and for everybody out there who has heard me speak before, I always say this, and I will continue to say this each and every time, that everything that I've said here does not make any sense. It's nonsense, in fact, because as we've heard, knowledge is power. But then the thing is that that's not true. When you look at that on the surface level, it's true. But when you look at the nitty gritty and the dynamics of everything, you know that knowledge in itself is not power. Knowledge is in itself is not power. It's the application of knowledge that is power. So everything that I've said, I need you to be able to now leave here and practicalize it. Do not keep it on a theoretical basis. I want you to start applying everything that I've said. And if you do that, I can promise you that is when you apply the knowledge, that's when you see the power. And once you get the power, then you can see results and you can grow. So I want you to leave this place not just living on a theoretical basis, but you should start applying, you should start practicalizing everything. And I can promise you, you'll be the next person to be able to bear fruits or enjoy the fruits of LinkedIn. Thank you.
Wow, that is it. It's exactly what he just said. Application of knowledge is power.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you so much, Kwesi. And hey, let's see if this is a hashtag for today. Let's see. Okay. This is it. Okay, the hashtag for today is simple. Brand yourself.
Brand yourself. Brand yourself.
The hashtag for today is simple one. Brand yourself.
Brand yourself.
Carry it out throughout the whole week. Brand yourself. And you know
Brand
what
yourself.
It takes to brand yourself. Let us pinpoint you and attach your brand to you for what you do or what you stand for. And that is simply what you do. And you know what? Yes. First day of the year. And we can just go without taking our first cybersecurity tips. And then Progressive will just join us back again. But this is time for Pa to do cybersecurity awareness. And today, simple one. We're not talking much. We're just talking about physical security. Physical security. Yes, so most often we think about securing the systems in organization. We put in all the firewalls, we put in all the DMZs, we put in all the antiviruses, we put in all that we need to do to secure the system, secure everything on the premises, in the cloud, portable devices. We bring in all the security measures. But most often we do forget, or it's just eludes us, the physical security. Now, this is what the bad guys are doing. They are contracting third-party vendors to carry out this for them. So they are paying some third-party vendors to get them information for them to use for the activities. And this is how they do it. They're paying some of these guys, the cleaners in the organization, paying the technicians, the AC technicians, the printer technicians, the telephone technicians, the computer technicians, the furniture repairers, and all that. The interior decors. They are paying all of these people to fish out information for them. Now, this is how they do it. You leave a lot of sensitive information on your decks at the close of work when it can be logged in the safe, when it can be logged in your drawer. But we don't do it. We leave it on decks open. We leave portable devices on our decks and all this. These guys still come in with devices that are able to scan, and they scan this sensitive documents. They scan the sticky notes that you have on your monitors, that you have on your table. They are able to take a picture of your whole desktop. And some of us do put our credentials, our online credentials, on our desktops somewhere there. We write it somewhere, place it under the keyboard, place it somewhere on the desktop. They are able to capture all these things and they take it back home or take it to whoever is paying them to get this information or this data for them. And they are able to put them together and make meaningful things out of them. And they use that to attack the organization. They know they're attacking you, but they're attacking the whole organization. So the next time you leave in the office, the next time you have any sensitive document on your decks, you need to know the best thing to do them is to log them in the safe, log them in the drawer, keep them at a secure place that a third party person will not have access to it. That it can go out and it can go against the organization. So this is just part one of physical security. Thank you so much for joining us. This aspect is brought to you by Cyberbells. Thank you so much for joining us. It is going to be a wonderful year. It is going to be a wonderful time. And as I always say, dreams are in levels. Make sure you get to the top level of your dream. Thank you so much for joining us, Kwesi. It was a wonderful time. It was a wonderful time having you on the Power Impact series, and definitely we're going to come out with a part two of it. Have a wonderful week. Till we meet same time next week, right here on the Power Impact series to welcome our next speaker for the year. Have a wonderful day, and God bless you. All the best.